Hello everybody, my name is Delmi Haney and this is my post-reflection number 2. So starting with the introduction, I plan on observing a child from a home daycare center. I chose this daycare center because they have children who are bilingual as well as monolingual in their facility, and the caretakers also are bilingual. So I decided to do an observation on a child at a daycare center out here in Palmdale, California. I picked an observation because I wanted to observe a duolingual child during playtime and see how they communicate with the children who don't speak their home language. And I also really wanted to observe a child who speaks Spanish, like who speaks only Spanish, and see how comfortable they are playing with children who speak a different language from their own. Pre-work and prior knowledge. So during the observation, I focused on the communication between the caretaker and the dual language learners, and especially the interaction between the duolingual learners and the monolingual children. So prior knowledge. So after doing the readings for this class, I knew to be objective when doing the observation. So don't apply emotions or any describing words to a behavior I may observe. Just strictly write down what I see. So hope to learn / course materials. So what I hope to learn from the observation was effective ways to interact with the dual language learners and how to make sure the dual language learners understand what's going on. And then a couple course materials I used for this was from lesson 4, the clearing your view, staying objective in observation, and from lesson 6, supporting dual language learners with classroom schedules and transition. So the first resource I picked because it talks about how to stay objective when you're observing a child and the importance of observing children. And I use this information to prepare for taking my field notes. And for lesson 6, I picked this resource because it discusses how you should support dual language learners with your classroom schedules and transitions. And I wanted to see how the caretakers transition different activities with both the dual language learners and the monolingual children as well. So now we're on to evidence. And again, I did do an at-home daycare center, so it's not going to be like, extravagant or anything. But on the left is like, I took a picture of the first page of my field notes. And then in the middle is me taking a selfie in the room that they have all the kids in. And then the far right picture is the entrance going into the room. And you can see their little cubbies and books and stuff right there. So what I learned. So the first thing was having a schedule with visuals really helps dual language learners stay on track and be more independent. So I did observe a child going up to the schedule several times to look at it. So I think it was like a way for him to be like, oh, what am I doing right now? So I thought that was good. And then I also learned dual language learner children will still play with children who do not speak their language. They'll use things like hand gestures or just talk in their home language and keep playing, or maybe point their finger. So they still play with each other even if they don't understand. Okay, so for new questions, the first one was, I wondered if they would accept children who did not speak English or Spanish, and what would they do? And the second question, do all dual language learner children misbehave as much as monolingual children do for them? That's just something I was curious about. And continue learning. I will continue learning by completing more observations on my own and doing my own research to gain more knowledge. And questions for my peers. Do you think it would be difficult for you to stay objective while observing a child? Because it was very hard for me while writing my field notes to not put specific things. So I was wondering if you guys feel the same. And how would you make sure dual language learners are comfortable in your classroom? Thank you, and this is the end of my presentation.